Hey everybody, Darlene Dodson here. I wanted to give you all an update. So I recently went to the doctor and got some blood results back, and I am excited to let y'all know that the blood results came back and I am free of lupus for the first time since I was diagnosed 7 years ago. I've been treating myself for the last 2 years with alternative holistic therapy, Reiki, meditation, herbalism, Ayurveda, aromatherapy, color healing, sound healing, you name it. I've tried it. And I tell you what, I am so excited. I feel like I am finally free of lupus. And I have to tell you that when I was diagnosed with Epstein-Barr virus 10 years ago, um, then it was chronic fatigue syndrome, Lyme disease, fibromyalgia, um, IBS, rheumatoid arthritis, all of these co-conditions. And if you don't know what Epstein-Barr virus is, it is chronic mono, and it can come back at any time, and you feel drugged down. You feel very achy, just as if you had mono. And I had been dealing with this for the past 10 years. So to come back now and find out that my lupus is completely gone, I am so excited to tell everybody, because I feel like, my health is restored. I haven't had any symptoms or anything. I feel like I'm totally in remission. So praise God for that. I'm so excited. I feel better than I've felt in probably 12 years, honestly. I feel like I could go run a marathon, although that would probably kill me at this point because I haven't exercised. My doctor told me not to exercise because I needed to save all of my energy reserves to just function normally throughout the day. And so I hadn't exercised. She told me the most I should exercise was 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and don't do anything too strenuous. So to have this report come back, I am so thrilled, so thankful, and I am so excited to share this with you all, because you all have been on, some of you have been on this journey with me ever since the beginning. So thank you. But I wanted to share with you all about this journey that I've been on. I have come to find out that after being, chronically ill and not being able to get out of bed, but, just feeling totally helpless. And I've come to realize that, you can get so wrapped up in your illness, whether it's illness, whether it's an accident, disease, autoimmune disease, whatever it is, trauma, grief, loss, you can become so wrapped up in that, and you become victimized by that, and you let it define you. You let it define your identity. You let it define who you are as a person, to where you can't even get out of bed the next day, because every day you feel so defeated, and you feel like, all of these things have conspired against you. And I can tell you that is completely not the case. I remember there was a time that I despised my own body for what it was doing to me. My throat hurt. When I talked, I sounded like I had laryngitis. I barely had the energy to get out of bed, but yet I had to go to work and make a living. And eventually I lost that job, and it was so soul crushing for me to have these illnesses. And I was wondering, like, why me, Lord? Why me? Why did this happen to me? And I realize now that I wasn't being kind to my body, and I had to get over being a victim to this illness, and I had to take a stand for myself, and I had to get off of all of these medications. I was on 9, 10 medications at one point, and I slowly weaned myself off of them. I got off of all of them completely 2 years ago, and I have felt so good about myself. I felt so good, and like I'm really doing something kind for my body. And instead of, you know, dragging myself out of bed, now I enjoy getting out of bed because every day is a brand new day for me. And life is so exciting to me now. Where it used to be, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to get out of bed. You know, I don't want to get out of bed. I just want to stay here, because that was my safe, protective cocoon, because I hated facing the world. I was depressed. I had anxiety about what was going on in the world. You know, just my job, my marriage, my family, everything was just crashing down around me. And it just got to the point where I just didn't want to get out of bed in the morning. But finally, it's like I had this internal like mindset shift, like something deep within me said, no, this is not the way that things are supposed to be. And it was just like a light switch, like it just happened. And I was like, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do this for myself. I have to get off of these meds. I can't go on living this way. I just can't. And that's when I started learning about Reiki. I had come across a class for Reiki, and I took it, and it just resonated with me. And then all these other things started falling into place. And I tell you what, my life has been so blissful and joyful, and I appreciate all of the things that my body can do now. Whereas before, I took my body for granted. When you're healthy and strong, you take things for granted. You take your life for granted. And then when it's all taken away from you, then you realize what you had and that you took for granted. And so you want it back. And now I'm redeemed. I feel like my health and my body is restored. And, you know, I have all of this energy, and now I have a willingness to help other people who may be facing the same things that I did. You may have been facing an illness or depression or anxiety, you know, anything that just wreaks havoc with your body and your mind and your soul and your life. And what else are you supposed to do? For me, it was a total mind shift. I had to get out of the victimhood. And day in and day out, I let myself be a victim to this disease. And I just, you know, I had to make a decision. I wasn't going to do this anymore. I wasn't going to live like this anymore. And that was the difference for me, was when I said, I am not going to live like a victim anymore. I'm not going to let this define me. And I really feel very strongly about this for anybody who, whether you've lost a loved one, whether you've lost, you know, your health, you know, you lost your job, you know, whatever it is, you can get so wrapped up in the grief over that you let it start defining your life. And I'm here to tell you, that is the worst thing that you can do, is let it define you. You are so much more than this situation. You know, you have a body, you have a mind, and you have a spirit. Work with them. Let them all work together for you. When you are out of alignment When your body is out of alignment with your mind and your spirit, that's, I think, when illness sets in, and you have to make a change and you don't know what else to do. So when you're at your rock bottom, that is when you have a choice to make. You can either choose to make things better for yourself, or you can choose to let it rule you. And I tell you what, there is freedom in making that decision. When you choose yourself over being a victim, that is when doors will open for you. Because I tell you, there are unseen forces all around us that are here helping us out, and we don't even realize it, but they are. And these unseen forces are sent by God, whether they're your guardian angels, or spirits that are around you. I look at them as my guardian angels. And I tell you what, that is so freeing to know that you have unseen helpers helping you in your life, and you don't even know it. I didn't know it, but we all do. And I tell you what, that is going to make a difference in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.